Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Frida Tate with a brand new video. In today's video, we want to explore a really touchy subject: why women decide to check out when they do, and the reason why they actually do check out at this point. I remember looking back to when I was really young, I heard that my sister's friend's parents had actually divorced after 37 years of marriage. And I was wondering, like, why did they decide to get a divorce at that? Obviously they are older and they've been together for 37 years. Yeah, for 37 years. Like, why now? But before I dive straight into the reasons why, I now know why the women check out at that point, at that time, after so long of waiting and trying to work things out and stuff like that. I am just going to give you a personal experience. After I give you my personal experience, I'm also going to play some videos that I have put together, men and women, explaining like really why the women decide to check out at that point out of their relationship. I was in my 20s. I was involved with this gentleman. He is from California. I dated this guy for 4 years, 4 solid years. I started dating this person, and after a year, I made it so clear to him that, you know what, I really want marriage to come out of this relationship. Obviously, it would be pointless if I'm dating you and then expecting nothing to come out of this. I want to have children. I want to get married and spend, I guess, the rest of our lives together. This man, he never told me that at any point that he didn't want to get married. Or each time I brought that subject up for marriage and stuff like that, then he would just tell me that, oh yeah, when the time is right, we are going to get married. And this man introduced me to his family, introduced me to his parents. At this time, we lived in Zambia, and the parents actually visited us in Zambia all the way from California. And like, in my naivety, I thought that, because, everything is pointing towards like family. Yeah. Perhaps we are going to get married this day or that day. And then like each time we are having that conversation, he would just brush me off by telling me how I love you, and like, nothing would ever change. And he actually called that commitment that it's just a piece of paper. Like, it's not important. It's not gonna change anything. Like, whether we have that piece of paper or we don't, I love you, you love me, and like, we are doing it. So yeah, so each time I brought up that subject, he would just tell me that, and I believed it. In my naivety, I believed it. And this is the reason why I lasted for 4 years. After 4 years, I was like, no, this is not gonna happen. If you don't respect my wish and how I feel, then, perhaps it's good that I walk. And so what I did, 6 months prior to that, I gave myself 6 months. Like, if he doesn't come around, if we don't get married in 6 months, then I'm out. So 6 months rolled around. Guess what? This guy did not propose, did not talk about marriage, did not talk about anything like that. So I was like, okay, sir, I am done. So I told him one day I was breaking up with him. He did not believe it. You know why he didn't believe it? Because like, he was so used to me talking about it, and then I leave it for like a few months, then I talk about it, then I leave it, like he tells me the stories or, his stories, and then I leave it. So he was kind of used to that, pattern. What he did not realize is that in my heart, in my mind, in my heart, I am thinking, you know what? I had given myself a time frame that if this does not happen, like within this period of time, then I'm out. And that's exactly what I did. So when I broke up with him, then he started saying, let me just give him a credit on that, because, perhaps this is when like gaslighting or narcissistic behavior was not a thing, because he made it a point to tell everybody, like anybody that asked him why we broke up, he explained to them exactly the way it was. He did not sugarcoat it. He did not blame me. He just blamed himself. And for that, kudos. The days that followed, the weeks that followed, he was just like really calling and calling and calling. He even started visiting my family that he wanted to get married. At that point, like I was out of there, like my emotions were out. I didn't even feel sorry for him. I never even really considered going back to him because I was done. When I said that day I was done like 6 months prior to that. And so as much as he said, let's go get married, he told the brother that he wanted to, because like in Africa, in Zambia, the only relative that he had was his brother, like the older brother. Yeah, the brother called me and said, okay, my brother still loves you and wants to be with you, wants you guys to go get married and blah, blah. I just said, I'm sorry, I love your family, but that ain't happening. And so I was done. So with that, I want to play these clips and I want you to listen what other people had to say about this subject. Women and men alike, like talking about this same topic, what they think about women that just check out and say they are done. Let's see what they had to say.
So men would easily walk away from a relationship and easily leave commitments to another commitment probably. But women take time to leave because when they commit, they really do. But what scares me is when a woman decides to walk away from you. Oh boy, when she has left. She has left. And you can try to do all your baby comebacks. When she's gone, she's gone.
When a woman is done in a relationship, men and women are equal, but they are not the same. Emotionally, biologically, and physically, we are not the same. We end up, unfortunately, not falling out of love, but actually falling into resentment. When we fall into resentment, then what's going to happen in her body is she's no longer going to feel like she's in love with this man. She knows she loves him, but she can't feel it anymore. And so there's a biological part to this. We know now through science that when a man is in his masculine state, and most men have got no clue what that is. Women know and can tell when a man is there, but a man actually no longer knows what that state is. As a woman, you will feel connected to him. But if you now have resentment going on with a bricks and a brick wall of resentment between the two of you, a lack of connection now developed over the years of being together and not knowing how to remove it on a regular basis, now you're going to feel dead inside.
Women don't leave unhappy marriages. They leave marriages that have left them exhausted, burnt out, overwhelmed, resentful, burdened. Like they leave because they are done and they've been trying for years and years, sometimes decades, to make it work. Women leave marriages because they are tired of being gaslit, stonewalled, given the silent treatment, blamed for everything, told that they're the problem. Women leave marriages because they have been going to therapy or working on themselves for years and their partner refuses. Women leave marriages because they are tired of being the parent to their spouse. They are tired of carrying the mental load, the emotional load, the physical load, and serving a spouse who does not reciprocate. They leave because they've given a million chances and they don't have any more to give. They leave when they finally realize that they deserve better. They leave when they feel unsupported, undervalued, unimportant. These are just a few reasons why women leave, and they are all valid reasons.
I think women, when they're done, they are done.
When it comes to breakup, it takes a lot for women to decide if this is over. It's gonna take little small disappointments and accumulates into a point where she goes, this is it. But once she decides, but for men, they won't know it until that happens.
That's true. And then
they regret and want to win her back, and it's over. And then they be saying shit like, oh, because she's old, you know, she always wanted to leave now. But dude, like, she give you probably many chances.
I actually hear that a lot from guy friends, and it just goes over their head like the breakup came out of nowhere. I guarantee you she's been communicating with you for years.
Silence is the best communication she gives when she's done. The moment she's still making some drama, making noise, trying to argue, finding the reason why, calling where you are, wanting to know who you are with, things are still good. You can try to get it right from her.
Guys, listen to me. Here's a harsh truth that I'm not sure you're ready to hear, but you really need to hear it. A woman is going to check out mentally months before she checks out physically. What do I mean by that? She's going to check out in her mind, out of the relationship, try to find her way to get out of that relationship before she actually goes. Because in order for her to even get to that place, she's probably begged you for months and months to get your act together, but you still haven't done it yet. And even going back before that, before she even says anything or tries to tell you, which all good women will tell you what's bothering them, you just have to listen. Before they even tell you, they're thinking about that for a few months before they even tell you that. So that is so much time that you're not paying attention to this woman that you supposedly love. And when she checks out mentally, it's literally a matter of time before she checks out physically. And when she checks out physically, she's gone in silence. She's not even going to say a word.
So there's a few reasons why women decide to stay in the relationship even when they see that this relationship is not working and this relationship is so dead, but they decide to stay. Let me talk about several reasons. Like, there's a bunch of reasons, but I came up with several reasons why women decide to stay. Sometimes women decide to stay in that relationship that is not working out because of the societal expectations. Sometimes women decide to stay because of fear of unknown. Sometimes women decide to stay because of the guilt and responsibilities. Sometimes they do decide to stay because they are hoping that this person is going to change. Sometimes women may decide to stay because of financial and practical considerations. Honestly speaking, let me just talk about the things that made me stay as long as I did. I was obviously fearful of the unknown, that really, am I going to find another man that will love me as much as this man? Because in that moment, you feel like that man loves you so much that there is no other man that's going to love you as much as they love you. But when I decided that I was done with this relationship, I did not even think about how I'm going to find another man who's going to love me. Another thing that I mentioned, why some women would feel they may not be financially independent, right? And so they decide to stay. But then what made me go even when I was not financially independent? I just got done, fed up with the situation, such that I was like, okay, you know what? I don't know how to swim, but I am just going to jump in the pool and swim and survive. That's what I did. Now, I do understand that not too many women would do that because of their responsibility. Maybe they have kids with that same man that they are hoping that they would leave. I did not have that responsibility of children. Yeah, I was, I dated this man. We never had children. So like it was, I guess, easier for me to leave because I did not have extra responsibilities. And I don't believe that that's the kind of person, knowing this kind of man that I was dealing with, I don't think that he's the kind of person that would just let me go if I had these extra responsibilities of children. And so I don't blame other women for not doing it, for not leaving when they should leave because of the responsibilities that they have. Is because you are not in that position and you probably don't understand their position. So I just leave it up to the woman to make that decision. And if they want to do it, they can go ahead and do it. If not, then just give them time. So I talk to women that come up with raising some eyebrows when they see a person that's, their relationship is not working. It's definitely up to the person to make up their mind, to make that decision. Nobody can make that decision for them, no family, no anybody, because they'll just end up blaming you, right? So I say with the women that may be at the verge, or they've been wanting to leave this relationship or marriage or whatever, and they don't have the guts to leave, just take your time. Time will come and you'll get to the point where you're like, I'm done. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. Thank you so very much for watching the video. If you did enjoy, please like, share, comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to turn on the post notification so that each time we upload a brand new video, you are notified. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you in our next video.